Hello everyone, welcome back to basically another tool talk video. This one is going to be about this product here. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I have some faith that it's going to do exactly what it's intended for. And this is a molding material. So in the past, I believe we did a video of quite a while ago on a product from Castaldo called Liquicast. The story is why we're doing this at all is because we can't really get Liquicast right now. The date is December 18th as of this recording, and I called my supplier. They said that they weren't actually able to get Liquicast anymore because Castaldo has moved that aspect of, I guess, their business. I'm not really sure, that product anyway, has moved to Thailand. And given the situation globally these days with COVID and stuff, just getting products to where they need to be in good time is becoming a challenge. So anyway, they have stopped carrying Liquicast until it becomes more easily available to get, and they had this stuff on hand. So this is called Freeman Jewel-Sil. It's clear RTV silicon rubber. So it's a little bit different than the Liquicast in that it is RTV and it's also clear instead of pink. I know that Castaldo does carry a clear liquid molding rubber material, probably identical to this or very similar to, but they put a premium on it and it's called Ice, I believe. Anyway, I was told when I asked my supplier about, what's the difference? How is it going to handle? What's the longevity? Things like that. They basically said it's like Pepsi and Coke. It's going to work exactly the same as Liquicast, have a very similar durability, everything will be the same. It's just a different name. So what we're going to be using this to mold today is this. Now, I'm handling this very delicately because, as you can see, this isn't really, maybe that's not my finest work in terms of the molding. This is what a proper mold frame looks like, but it's a little bit different than this in that it's more durable. It's actually, kind of a calibrated system. These are two pieces of glass. Glass is perfectly flat. The sides of this aluminum U frame they're milled perfectly flat as well, so that when you put them together with these clamps, the amount of force is enough to prevent any of the Liquicast from coming out around the sides. In this case, I just used some copper. I cut a strip on my shear, and the edges have actually been glue gunned. It's pretty janky, but it's gonna work, I think, as long as the liquid stuff doesn't burst out around the sides, which I don't think it will. I did a pretty good job of gluing, and I will of course make sure before I pour anything in again. You only really need the frame, the container for the thing to function the one time. It can be fairly disposable. Obviously, environmentally, get something that will last and for a long time, and then it saves money in the end, and you know that you have something that will work, which is a nice peace of mind. So what we're going to be molding are these. These are pistol grips or scales. I'm not really sure. I'm not a gun guy at all. Now, the client gave me these to mold. They are made out of wood. I've sealed the back of the wood so that the RTV doesn't sink in to this wood material, and then it becomes a pain to take off. The finish is going to be crap, and it might actually seep into the wood of the scales. Anyway, I took that little bit of precaution, and I just used some glue gun stick on the bottom. Normally you'd use wax. Sprue wax isn't generally very sticky, in that if I was to just attach it to this cold wood shiny surface, if I was to do something like this, you can kind of see that kind of wobbling around in there, that would just break off. It tends to not be as flexible. So anyway, glue gun, a little bit thicker sprue, which is great because when I go to pour this in bronze, having that larger sprue will help quite a bit for something as heavy as this, and it will also help get the wax to where it belongs. So let's open the box. It's not going to be too fancy. So there's the main body of the RTV, and then you get this little bottle of catalyst, and there was only, I think it's only like that much for the entire container. This is mixed at a 10-to-1 ratio. It says right there on the thing, yeah, it says there's 91 grams in there and 901 grams of this. So if you were to mix this directly into the whole container, then that would be fine. I'm gonna have to measure it out though. Now, something else to note is that this stuff on the instructions does not say that it requires vacuuming. It says, fill the mold from the bottom until the pattern is completely encapsulated. Place the completed mold in a pressure pot. An empty wax injector pot will work fine, and allow the rubber to cure under 15 psi of pressure overnight. Cure time may be accelerated with heat. Temperatures of 115 degrees Fahrenheit can shorten the cure time to as little as 2 hours without degrading the performance or mold clarity. Interesting. So I guess what they're assuming here is that if you're making molds for jewelry, as it is Jewel-Sil, it's designed for jewelry. If you're making molds for jewelry, they assume that you have a wax injector already. Now, my wax injector is not going to work for this, so I'm going to be vacuuming my material. I'm gonna mix, vacuum the cup, and then I'll pour it in, and I will see how much in terms of bubbles there are. If there's too many bubbles, then I'll probably vacuum this very delicately until there's nothing left. Let's go do some math. All right, so we're gonna be measuring out 200 grams total. We need 181 grams of the main filler material, the base, and we need 18.2 grams of the catalyst. So I've got this little scale, which is brand new to me. This is actually the first time I'm actually using it, but it's accurate to 100th, whatever, second decimal point of a gram. So we can get pretty accurate. So 181.8. So I gotta say, in terms of sheer consistency, I am not a huge fan of this. The liquid cast tends to be much more fluid. This stuff is just like a big pile of goop, and it doesn't flow nicely. Like, you can't just pour it. You can just gather up a pile of it, put it back if you had too much. And now the rest brings us up to 200. I need 18.2 of this to make a nice round 200 grams. There we go. And we are only 0.01 gram over. Not so bad, if I say so myself. So what I'm gonna do after I am done mixing for the next couple of minutes is I'll put this in the vacuum chamber and vacuum out all of these little bubbles that we're introducing as we mix. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the level of stirring that I've got. Now let's put it into the vacuum chamber. Put that, make sure it's on investment table. Okay, so I have vacuumed this out and it doesn't look any better than what we had before. Not in the least. But at least I can say I tried. I'm not too worried about the fact that the grip has now moved a little bit and it's touching the wall. I'll just reach in with the knitting needle and I'll make sure it's set where I want it to be. I knew that the glue stick that I used for the sprue, like the support, was going to be a little bit flexible, and that's fine. All right, so there's our mold made. It didn't go as cleanly as I thought. It doesn't say in the instructions that you need to vacuum. However, my impression was from my supplier, if this stuff is like Coke and Pepsi relative to liquid cast requires vacuuming. I figured, well, what's the harm? I think it's all going to work out. There's a lot of bubbles in there, but I mean, this does have a 24-hour set period. So I will come back tomorrow and we'll see how well this has set up. All right, so we're back. I actually let the mold set for a few days. It should be cured within 24 hours according to the instructions. However, it is now Monday. We did this on Friday. I took the weekend off. Well, not really off. If you didn't see that bit, we did a live stream with another resin company. That was kind of fun. Anyway, back to this. But I'm happy to report that everything's set up nicely. So my ratio, my measuring was spot on. It feels great. Like it's nice and rubbery, I guess is the word I'd use. Like it's bouncy, it feels firm, there's no soft spots, there's no tackiness. All in all, like it seems like I did a good job of mixing, and I really like how clear it is. Like you can clearly see what's going on. So when I go to inject the wax in here, I think it's going to be quite interesting to see. I have done a video previously about molding and cutting. So if you haven't seen that video, this is one of our older videos. Feel free to take a look at that. We're going to be using Freeman purple wax. This stuff is designed for carvability after injection. So this is my really old, I've used the term before, golden oldie. This is one of those old Vigor brand wax injectors. You can see it's still a little bit hot. I've unplugged it. Anyway, you pull up on the plunger, wax gets sucked up into the tube, and then you depress and it comes out the nozzle. The nozzle is designed, like pretty much every other wax injector, to fit into the cone and create a nice seal. Anyway, injection quality was very good. Now, because this was a wood product, there are a few little things, like there's texture on the back. I did mention that I sealed the back of the wood with a clear coat, a matte finish. So you can't even tell that there was anything there. I think this is very good. I can still see some mill lines from the wood and then some grain, but that's about it. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. We also have a membership program button somewhere down here. I'm not sure where. Please take a look at that. We would appreciate your support. We do offer perks with the membership program. There's $1 a month, and that comes with extra PDF files. And the second tier, I believe, comes with, well, there's more perks. I don't honestly remember everything. And the last tier, there's a discount code that will apply to virtually anything in our store, including our courses. So if you're interested in a casting course, distance, of course, there are 3 levels to that as well. Please take a look on our website. And that's enough self-promotion from me. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.